biggest things about burnout is that you don't know it's happening until you're too far gone.
And it's hard when you're in that state yourself to really know what's going on because you're just trying to get through it. So what actually happened when you had to leave the NHS?
Oh my God, that actually make me want to cry. We got about 5 patients in and I just burst into tears. And then my consultant just turns around to me and goes, Becca, now's not the time. And I was rock bottom.
It does just feel like the pressure is always on. You have to be able to look after yourself in that system because the system isn't going to necessarily look after you. Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Taboo Topics. I'm Dr. Amber.
And I'm Dr. Becca.
And today we're talking about all things burnout. This podcast is for general information and discussion only.
We're both doctors.
But we're not your doctors.
And this podcast does not replace personal medical advice.
If you have any concerns about your health or anything else we talk about, please speak to a qualified healthcare professional.
Content may include sensitive topics, so listen in a safe space that feels right for you.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Taboo Topics. I'm Dr. Amber.
And I'm Dr. Becca.
And today we're talking about all things burnout.
Just the trigger warning, today we are talking about mental health issues, including depression, anxiety, and burnout.
If you're struggling or know someone that is, there's links in our description with information of how to get help.
Welcome back to episode 2 of Taboo Topics.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you so much for clicking back on. The fact that you've listened to episode 1 and gone, yeah, we need to keep listening. We appreciate that.
We do. I know there's going to be a lot of like friends that are listening as well. So thanks for supporting us.
Hi friends. But yeah, how are you, Amber? I've not seen you. I need the update. What's been going on with you?
Yeah, I've been good. It's been more wedding planning. We've decided on Greece.
Stop. Oh my God.
I know. It's a big thing doing a destination wedding, isn't it? Honestly,
who do you think you are?
I actually don't know.
Destination wedding. All
Honestly,
right.
My sister will probably be listening to this and laughing because she was like, you should do it abroad. And I was like, there's no way we're doing it abroad. That's so extra. We're not going to do that. And then 6 months later, baby, we're
here we are. We're going to Greece. Oh
going to Greece.
My God.
Going to Greece. So yeah, I'm excited.
Is this just to deter anyone you don't want to come
well,
to the wedding?
This is the thing. Like, if you don't want to come, don't come.
Yeah.
It makes it cheaper and then we know who our real friends are.
That's me when I'm like, so sorry, babes. The podcast is a flop. I can't afford to come to your wedding.
It's fine. I'll spot you. You're going to be there. You can't get out of it that easy.
Damn it. But then at least we're better to get all the wedding updates on the podcast. Yeah. You can just tell me. Oh my God,
we can bring the pod.
I'm so excited. I love the fact that each episode, it's just me you getting 1 week closer to your wedding.
Oh my God, that's actually quite intense because it's really far away.
Wait, when is it?
It's going to be in May 2027.
Oh, I thought you were doing it this year.
No, we've changed. We've changed our minds. We need more time to save. Weddings are expensive.
I also was going to say, because you were like, no, I want to do it at the end of this year. And I was like, babe, you've got quat a lot on. Like,
do you really want to rush this? Yeah, no. Yeah. I think actually I was quite keen to just, because we got engaged in July, but then we didn't start any wedding planning because of the exams and stuff.
Yeah.
So actually in my head I was like, oh, we'll get married next year. But now that's in 9 months.
Okay.
And that's really soon.
Do I get a +1?
Yeah. Who's it going to be?
That is the biggest question. I've actually, I've got a date tomorrow.
Have you?
Wait, is it tomorrow? What day are we on now? Tuesday. Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He's from Scotland.
Is he?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Glasgow, I think.
Oh, do you know what? I love a Glaswegian.
I couldn't tell you what a Glaswegian versus an Edinburgh Scottish accent is, to be
honest. They are different. Yeah. We'll compare after. Compare and contrast on YouTube.
We're going to a wine bar, though.
Oh, who picked?
Me. I'm always, to be fair, and every date I go to, I'm like, wine bar?
Oh, really? You always choose?
I always just say, can we pick a wine bar? And then I make them pick the wine bar.
Oh, nice.
But I think we're just going to Vagabonds.
I've never been there. Is it good?
My manager's just gone, yep.
What, you can say Vagabond?
I was just wanted to say, you can say Vagabond as top
I
choice.
Love it there.
No, I've gone, Vagabond's a really strong date option. But it's quite nice. Like, should we go to Vagabonds? It's very much like, oh, you haven't really thought about it.
Is it a chain?
It's a chain.
Okay.
But it's a great chain.
Nice.
So we're into Vagabonds. We're going to have some wine. We're going to get tipsy-whipsy maybe.
Nice.
I'm excited for it. But
that'll be good.
I just feel like I've had a really bad string of dates. Oh my God, I actually still haven't told you this story that happened over Christmas.
What?
Went on a couple of dates with a guy. First date, went to a wine bar, obviously.
The classic.
The classic. I've started a wine bar list as well in London that I want
Nice.
to
Can
go
you take
to.
me to some?
No, I've got my dates to take.
Okay.
So went on a couple of dates with this guy. Date number 1, went to this
Yeah.
wine bar. I then finished the date and I even went on my TikTok and reviewed the date and was like, I don't think he's funny. I think I'm just funny.
I'm just hilarious.
I'm just funny.
Which is true.
It's really hard. I think it is hard to date people when you're hilarious because you're like, am I having a good time?
Do you want to go, ideally, would your ideal man be someone who's really, really funny? Or do you think that they need to have a bit more of a like chill vibe because that's your role?
I think I like being the bigger personality, the funny person. And if they're funny than me, like that's the thing. We kind of went on this date and he was talking loads and I was like, excuse me.
Hello.
It's my time to talk.
That is my job.
But anyway, went on a couple of dates and then I sacked him off. I was like, no, thank you.
You're talking too much about yourself and I want to talk about me.
Yeah, why do you think I started a podcast? None of you listeners can interrupt me, okay?
Don't worry, I'll do it.
You're working on behalf of all the listeners. I'm all gonna be like, shut up, Becca. I'm talking. Anywho, so sacked him off a couple of days, and then he was like, "Oh," and like he basically messaged me saying, "But you left your bracelet at my house."
What bracelet was it?
It was like one from like D. Louise.
Oh, nice.
It was the one that she gifted me for the London Marathon. So it's actually quite a special bit of jewelry.
That's annoying, isn't it?
Don't ask me
Did
why.
you take your bracelet off to sleep?
I was going to say, like, why are you not asking why it ended up at his house?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was
Wait. This was day 3. 2. And, okay, fine. So you went to his house. Did you stay the night?
No. We actually went back to his house.
You took your bracelet off and you went home.
And then about... I'm going to leave that there's a little keepsake so you think of me.
No, so you have to let me back.
No, we were so drunk. Apparently we went and got a Five Guys and I was like, I can't eat Five Guys.
Apparently we went and got a Five Guys. Yeah, you're gluten free.
I know, that's why I was like, surely not. I was like, that's the most baffling part of the night. Also, so we left the wine bar on the second night, because obviously we went to a wine bar on the second date as well.
Yeah.
And then he was like, do you want to go back to mine? I was like, sure, fine. Guess the mode of transport we got back to his.
Those bikes.
Nope.
Scooter.
Nope.
Piggyback.
No.
Shoulders. Horseback ride.
Bus.
Oh my God, sorry. What? You just never get the bus? Like so
so
road.
A day and then we're just standing at the bus stop and got a 15-minute bus journey home through London traffic.
What? London
Eating at Five Guys.
What time was this? Why was there traffic?
I don't know. It's just central London though, isn't it?
Oh,
but it was not giving.
I love a night bus. The good old N87, very trusty route, runs from central London, I think Trafalgar Square, all the way to Kingston.
No,
really good.
I'm all for a bus. If you've taken me on a second date to a wine bar,
yeah, maybe just.
He went, Uber's too expensive. Let's go on the bus.
Oh, well, there you go.
Anyway, went back to his.
You know where you stand.
But went back to his, did the deed.
Yeah,
left the bracelet at his. Because at that point, it was like 4 a.m. and I was like, I don't want to sleep in a boy's house. So I was like,
get me out of here.
I'm going to go back to mine.
Did you bus back?
I got an Uber. Okay. Ubered back to my house. And then I messaged him, was like, I'm so sorry, not for me. To which he then was like, you've left your bracelet here. I was like,
that's for me.
I was like, oh, that's actually really annoying because I kind of like that bracelet. Like it means a lot to me. And I was like, fine, I'll come round and get it. And he was like, no, don't worry. Like, I know where you live. I'll send it to you in the post.
How does he know where you live?
I kind of missed out the part of the story.
Of the first date. I know where you live. How? You just outed yourself.
Trying not to sound like an absolute slut.
It's not working. No, we don't slut shame. We do not slut shame.
I know, but then it just makes it sound so bad.
No, it doesn't.
No, so we went to his, and then when we left his on the second date, he then came back to mine as well.
What? Oh, as in he came to drop your bracelet off?
No.
Oh, after the first date?
No, after the second date. So we went to his on the second date.
Yeah.
And then I Ubered back and he was like, I'll come with you. So then we Ubered back. And then between the second date and me sacking him off, I may have booty called him at some point as well.
Oh, okay. Fine.
So he knew where I live because he'd been there twice. But we're just going to move past
on.
that.
Move on.
Anyway, so he was like, I know where you live.
Yeah.
I was like, great. I'm a little embarrassed now about my sex life. Oh, this is why I'm also going to be more tragically single. If I didn't think I was single before, I'm going to be really single now.
Why?
Because boys are going to listen to this and be like, this
Boys
girl...
are not going to care about that. They're going to be like, oh, she's going to know what she's doing in the bedroom.
All the boys in this room are like...
They look really awkward.
Oh, I'm so hot right now. So then, when I tried to sack him off, he was like, I'll send it to you in the post. Arrived on the floor was a hand-delivered envelope with my address on, but no stamp. So he hand-delivered it. The bracelet was in it.
That's
and then
sweet.
in there was a love letter.
Oh, no.
A love letter about all the reasons why we would work and why we should be together.
I don't know how I feel about that.
So
take a no. You went on how many dates? 2?
2 in a booty call. I
mean, you obviously made a good impression.
But anyway, that's my love life.
Yay! You got your bracelet back.
Got my bracelet back, got a love letter. It's all good.
Love that.
Anyway, should we move on to actually why we're here and start talking about my tragic love life now? Because today's topic, I feel, is a bit more serious, a bit more taboo. And it's something that I think is actually really common. And I don't know, for me, it is such a big part of my life. So what we're talking about today?
Burnout. We're talking about burnout today.
Yeah. Which I think it's such a trigger word. It's such a big topic at the moment. I'm saying it now. 2026, the year of burnout. Like, I feel like over the past couple of years, we have kind of like, it's slowly becoming into people's like vocabulary a bit more.
Yeah.
But I think this year we're going to really see it. And I think we wanted to start speaking about this quite early on in the series of the podcast and like quite early on at the start of the year, because I think like January, February time, we are talking New Year's resolutions. We are talking new goals. We are talking about people putting more pressure on themselves, working harder, doing more, social media being like more. What's going to happen? Burnout. Everyone's going to get burnt out.
100%. And I think it's also important because while you're setting those goals, you can set goals of how to prevent yourself from burning out and how to look after your mental health, your physical health, without putting too much pressure on yourself to do all of those other things.
I know, but I just don't think that's going to happen. People don't set New Year's resolutions or new goals being like, I'm going to be kinder to myself or I'm going to do less. It's always do more, which is just going to lead to burnout. But for those listening who don't know what burnout is, because I think the subject of burnout, people don't, I think it's overused in some senses, underused in other senses.
The buzzword.
Like it's people don't really know what it is, but it's technically not even like a medical condition. It's called this occupational phenomenon, which I don't really like the term of anyway.
Yeah. Is it in the ICD-10?
Yeah, but basically it means that suggests that like burnout is the buildup of chronic workplace stress, which then basically leads to emotional and physical exhaustion. Okay. But 2 reasons I don't like that is because 1, occupational suggests it just comes from work when it really can come from so many other things.
Yeah.
And also I just think there's so much more to it than just like this one line sentence. It's such a complex topic.
Yeah.
But I thought we could go in a deep dive into like the symptoms of it and like how we could pick it up. Because I think a lot of people will be feeling these feelings and not really knowing what it was. Well, that was the kind of case for me anyway.
Yeah. What happened with you?
What happened to you?
When were you first burnt out?
Yeah. So I had no idea what burnout was. It's funny because I talk about it all the time now, but 2 years ago, I didn't know what burnout was. But I actually think I've been going through burnout for the past 6 years, basically.
6 years?
Yeah, ever since I've kind of been a doctor. But I think
it's a really long time.
Yeah. Well, basically, we were doctors. Well, you graduated the year before me, but I graduated in 2020 in the year of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Straight onto the COVID wards.
And you graduated early as well because they needed more doctors on the wards. So you didn't do your final exams because they were like, no time for that. You don't get a summer break. You're starting work now.
I know. Imagine going from practicing for your finals. You just done 5 years of intense medical school. They're like, bam, no break, straight onto a COVID ward in full PPE on the front line in a pandemic.
Yeah.
And I wonder why my mental health went, ooh.
Yeah. You were also quite isolated because you didn't get into the area that you wanted to be.
No.
You got sent to a place where you didn't know anyone, so you didn't have that support network. And it was also COVID, so it was like, you can't socialise.
Yeah.
It's a recipe for burnout, really.
I know. We are here to break the stigma.
But we need your help. please click that subscribe button.
It literally takes 2 seconds.
Have you done it yet?
Now back to the episode. The risk factors for burnout anyway, they're a mix of work, lifestyle and personality. So from a work point of view, you've got a high workload, a stressful environment, lack of support, which is NHS circa 2020. Then you've got looking at your lifestyle where you're not sleeping well, you're maybe drinking a bit too much. Me used to have a big drinking problem. And then you've got your personality as well.
Really? Your personality?
Yeah. So like type A, perfectionist, super caring, super empathetic, just want to do the best, which is most doctors. And like we're like very type A people. Put that all together, you're going to get burnt out.
Yeah.
And that was me in 2020 going on to the COVID wards. And that's when it all kind of started. But I'm someone who's also had a history of like depression and anxiety as well. And I think even though I hadn't been on antidepressants for ages or anti-anxiety medication, people were very much, oh, it's just Becca being depressed and anxious again. And I was like,
but feels different.
It's different. But it did feel like that. But at the same time, like I was told my whole life I had depression and anxiety. So like, what am I meant to believe? Like,
and it's hard when you're in that kind of state yourself to really know what's going on because you're just trying to get through it. You're just trying to survive, like keep your head above the water.
Yeah. And the symptoms of burnout and depression and anxiety are actually kind of similar.
There's a lot of overlap, isn't there?
Yeah. So you have like maybe you got some low mood or you got high stress, you're not sleeping well, changes in your appetite, feeling very emotionally numb. They're things that could be both diagnoses. So I think it just got completely missed. But what I found is like throughout my years of being a doctor, I would then obviously go off sick. And straight away, as soon as I went off sick, I was like, oh, I felt great.
You felt completely better?
Oh yeah, because it was like quite early on in my burnout journey.
Yeah.
Like
it would just like all go away, felt back to normal.
Yeah, so a couple of weeks
crazy.
off.
Yeah.
As soon as I left work, a couple of weeks off work, felt great. I was like, great, depression's gone. I fixed it. Straight back to work. So initially it was like maybe I did 6 months of work and then I would take time off, come back. Then it'd be like 5 months and I'd go off sick. Then 4 months, go off sick. And the time...
And were you going off with like stress leave?
And like mental health issues.
Yeah.
And each time I went off, it took me longer and longer to recover. And the time I could do at work was becoming less and less. And it's like, actually, what is the similarity about why I'm going off sick? It's being at work. But I really didn't put two and two together at all. I don't know if you've had the same thing. Like, have you ever like actually had burnout or like, I mean, you still work clinically now. Like I've sacked that right off.
I think I definitely could be at risk of developing burnout just because, as you say, it's personality. I like to do everything. Like I'm currently working full time in the NHS and I'm starting a podcast. Like that on its own, trying to go to the gym and plan a wedding, like it's kind of a recipe for burnout.
Yeah.
So I think I'm really mindful of it and I have had to get better at saying no to things. And that's really hard because you feel like you're letting people down sometimes, but you have to put yourself first. And I think there was a time where I went traveling for 2 months. I was doing my F3 year where you basically aren't in training and you're locuming. So you can take time off if you want to. And I've been working quite hard. I went away for 2 months and I came back and I just felt completely different about work. I was like, oh my God, I'm finding this really interesting. I'm really enjoying seeing my patients. And I was like, this feels a bit different to before I went away. And so like, I think I was burnt out, but I just hadn't recognized it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like people don't realize it's happening. And like often like one of the biggest things about burnout is that you don't know it's happening until you're too far gone.
Yeah.
So like those early warning signs of burnout, it's that you're getting a bit more tired. Like the fatigue isn't really going away with just a good night's sleep. You're going to work, you don't really care as much. Like your motivation's a bit lower, your interest is a bit lower. I remember going to work as a doctor and kind of being there and being like, oh, this is actually so bad to say. But like, I didn't care about my patients as much.
It's so hard. It's so hard though, because you have to be honest about this. And it's difficult when you're doing a patient facing role because big part of the reason you went into it is because you care so
You care so
much.
much. And I was
And if
standing
you
there.
lose that, then it's just like, what has happened?
I know. I was like, why do I not care about these patients? Because I was like, on the surface, I know I care about these patients, but I don't care. I couldn't care less. Like, what is happening here? Like, and I think so many people like listening to this, especially people working in like those caring roles in healthcare, would probably be able to really relate to that. Like, all your nervous system is doing is trying to survive and get through the day. And you just aren't putting that same love and passion. Like, think about when you first start a job. You are so enthusiastic. And then like you just want to change everything. And then a couple of years in, you're a bit like,
that motivation, it can just go, can't it?
Yeah, and I think that is that build-up of stress. So those are the kind of early warning signs that people like start having.
Yeah.
But it's not until you start getting that like really like massive like fatigue and like maybe the physical symptoms like headaches or like lack of sleep, change in appetite, that people actually realize that something bigger could be going on.
Wrong here.
Yeah. It's also so weird just talking about this now because like we're obviously telling people about burnout.
Yeah.
Like, I know so much about it now. I can sense the early warning signs. I know when it's happening. I know what I should do to fix it.
Yeah.
And yet, because it's so much about your personality type as well, I think I still go through episodes of burnout.
Yeah, even though you're kind of the burnout doctor. Like, you talk openly on your social media about how you got really burnt out to the point where you had to leave the NHS, you had to leave what you've been training for years and years, and you educate other people about it. And even though you have all of that experience, you are still predisposed to getting burnt out.
Yeah, like I'm literally a walking risk factor. Like, yeah, work was a massive trigger for my burnout. But at the same time, like I have those personality traits. And so even now I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, it's the start of the year and we're starting this podcast and there's so much going on. And I'm also trying to train for all these things and I'm also trying to write a master's dissertation. It's like, I can feel myself getting burnt out again, which is just
levels going up.
It's so annoying. And that's the thing with burnout as well. Like it reoccurs. And I think, again, like with every mental health disorder, once you kind of had it once, it kind of like you're predisposed to kind of getting it again. So nothing will be as bad as the burnout I experienced in the NHS.
Yeah, so what actually happened when you had to leave the NHS? Like, what was going through your mind that day that you left?
Oh my God. Because that actually make me want to cry. I'm like... Ooh, like going back,
make
like
me cry.
No, it's literally because like I think this week it's like actually marks 2 years since I left the NHS now.
Has it been 2 years? Because I remember last year, I can't believe that was a whole year ago. But that's actually crazy. Like,
it's been 2 years, yeah. And I was going through this wave of like being really burnt out, kept going off sick, and then I was in like a low commute position, so it was a bit more like 9 to 5, and it was a bit more like calmer. But I was like in a bad place still. Like I think that's when the point I was like, I think I'm too far gone at this rate. And I went into the hospital one day, went to my ward that I normally go on, and we have about 50 patients on this ward.
That's a big ward.
It's like one of those 2 ones, which is kind of put into one big one.
Yeah.
And there's meant to be like 4 doctors, like 2 kind of each side of the ward. I was the only doctor.
For 50 patients?
Yeah. So we had the
bad.
consultant and then we had me as like the junior or like resident doctor, what you call now. And that's great having a consultant there. And the consultant was like, right, well, whiz around all the patients that we need to do. I was like, well, that's great that you're seeing all the new patients, but who had to do the jobs for 50 patients? Me.
Yeah.
And we got about 5 patients in and I just burst into tears. And then my consultant just turns around to me and goes, Becca, now's not the time. And I literally was like already crying at this point. I was rock bottom.
That's so awful.
I was already
the response.
Yeah, I was already in conversations about like, I think I need to leave. And I literally went, you know what? I think now is the time. And I was like, I've got to go. And I left. I couldn't work anymore. Like I was in hysterical, broken down crying and I had to leave.
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't have been in a position where I was the only doctor covering 50 patients.
No.
And I left.
It pushes you to your limits, doesn't it? And then you're forced to take control of the situation. You're forced to just leave.
It was survival mode. I left the ward, I handed my notice, and then 5 weeks later I left, and that was 2 years ago now. And so I feel waves of burnout now, but it will never be as bad as that. But that's why I'm so passionate about educating people about burnout, because we shouldn't be losing doctors to burnout. We shouldn't be losing anyone to burnout. Like, it is such a preventable thing if we talk about it and we discuss it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, interestingly, in the medical field, we're losing a lot of doctors to places like Australia. And I've 3 of my really close friends are in Australia now, and the working conditions there are, generally speaking, a lot better. I can't speak for everywhere, but that is a big reason why people go, because you do just have that better quality of life and people don't tend to get as burnt out. I don't know if it's something to do with our society in this country or if it's something to do with the NHS, but it does just feel like the pressure is always on, and you have to be able to look after yourself in that system, because the system isn't going to necessarily look after you.
No, absolutely not. How can people treat themselves? How can people stop that happening?
Yeah. How can people, when they are in a job or in a system like the NHS, stop themselves from getting burnt out? What can they put into place?
Yeah.
What have you done to help with your symptoms of burnout when you can feel them coming, or even before, to prevent them from happening?
I think the easiest thing you can do when you're wanting to prevent burnout is looking at the risk factors. So being able to identify in yourself, I'm a type A personality who always has a million projects on, like being aware that there is a risk there, and like just talking about it and being aware of it as well. And then I think if you are going through burnout, immediate steps are talk to someone, tell someone that you're going through this, whether this is like your manager, a colleague, the doctor, a therapist, friends, anyone. Make sure that you are opening up to someone about this. Just like any mental health disorder, talking to people is so important.
Yeah.
Potentially taking some time off work if work is the trigger, which it often is, whether this is like a couple of days or a week. Unfortunately, when it comes to burnout, you're normally picking it up when it's quite far down the line.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, one day off work isn't going to treat your burnout.
No.
With burnout, actually, it can take weeks or even months, potentially a year to recover, because you are so depleted. I think it took me a good year to recover from my burnout from the NHS. Like, I was still
such a long time.
Yeah, I was a shell of who I was. And I kept taking these short periods off, feeling better and then going back. But actually taking time off work and a considerable amount of time off as well.
I also think I have a tendency to, if I've got annual leave, for example, I have a tendency to still work in that time on all the other things that are really exciting that I'm doing in that time, because I'm like, I've got this time off.
Type A of you.
I know, but like, it'll be like, I'll just do this for the morning and then I'll do something nice in the afternoon. But it means that after I've had that week off, I haven't really properly rested. So that's one of the things I'm going to try and do when I go on holiday later this month. I'm going to actually not do anything, because I think if your leave isn't being used to rest and recover, then it's a recipe for disaster.
You're literally recording this on your day off from work?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
You're working on your day off. Like, if you get burnt out, I would not be surprised.
No,
like,
it's kind of a double-edged sword, because I think with my personality, and I'm sure a lot of other people, it gives me energy to be doing lots of projects.
Yeah.
And I love doing it. But it's a very fine line of like doing too much as well.
I know.
And it's, how do you find that balance? And I think for me, it's weaving in time to rest, time to exercise, and time to spend with my friends, and making sure that time is protected as possible. And I think there are times when it won't be as easy to do that, like if you are starting a new project and you want to put your all in, but you need to have an end date to that.
Yeah.
So like for me, I'm like, if this goes well and we're going to make some more series, which it will, then I'll go less than full time in my clinical work. But I think it's having those kind of points where you're going to reassess and re-review, so that you don't fall into that trap of just doing more and more and more.
I know, and actually blocking in times to rest, which is something I've really learned over the past couple of years. Say we've got a really busy morning recording a podcast today. This afternoon, I will go and stare at a wall for the rest of the afternoon.
A wall?
A wall. I don't know.
God.
Me. No, but I need to do that. I need to be alone.
Just chill.
I need to
have some time. Yeah.
Be understimulated, because I know that I find things really overstimulating. I never used to do that. I used to go, and then be like, why am I so tired? It's like, babe, you haven't rested in about 3 years. Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
So like planning in rest times and like making sure that what you do in your hobbies are really filling up your cup as well. Like doing like, I find that I love that exercise, which is like looking at your life and being like, that drains me or that fulfills like fills me up. Like I think that's a really useful exercise to do. Like sometimes going for a run like really fills up my cup, but sometimes if it's a tough session, that's gonna absolutely drain me. And just noticing that, like where you are actually putting your energy, because you want to reduce stress, not put more stress on yourself as well.
In your experience, are there any particular stages of burnout that people should look out for?
I think when looking at burnout, I kind of split it into 5 different stages. You have the initial stress, which then leads to exhaustion, which then leads to detachment.
Okay.
Eventually you collapse.
God.
And hopefully you recover.
Yeah. You do. You recover.
You will recover.
You will.
It gets better, guys. I promise.
Yeah. Are there 5 tips that you can give to people so that they don't get burnt out? What should they be doing?
Okay. So definitely talking to people, talking to your friends, your managers, your colleagues. Reaching out to therapy if you can. There's free counselling things out there. You can go via your doctor, or you can like pay for private therapy as well. There's also like online free resources that we can like link in the bio as well, the podcast episode.
Yeah.
I think definitely putting in rest, like adequate rest times.
Yeah. Rest within your week and your day, but also chunks of time of annual leave if you can take it, so that you can actually rest and recuperate, whether you're going to go on holiday or just have some chill time at home.
Yeah, 100%. And then setting boundaries. Don't do what you do and pick up extra shifts.
Outed.
Don't pick up extra shifts. Don't stay late after work. Don't pick up that extra project. You're allowed to say no.
Yeah.
And number 5 is definitely, if you can, reduce or remove the main trigger that you have. Like, whether that is taking time off work or whatever it is, whatever it's causing you stress, try and reduce that.
Yeah. Might be having a chat with your manager to look at how you can change your schedule at work, or working less than full time, which isn't feasible for everybody because you get less money, but just having a look at what the stressor is and is there anything you can do to reduce it.
It's so interesting that you say that, because the amount of doctors in the NHS who have to go less than full time because the job is so stressful that they can't mentally prepare for it anymore.
I know.
Maybe that's a sign that actually the way that the NHS is set up is not feasible for doctors to work and be safe, because we've all gone less than full time.
Yeah, it's a system thing.
It's a system
Lots
thing.
of my friends are less than full time to have that better work-life balance. And actually they're still often working 40 hours a week, which is a full-time job in any other post.
Yeah. And I think also what's really important to know with burnout, and this took me a long time to realise, that it's not necessarily my fault that this is happening, especially in the NHS and healthcare. It is a system thing, it is a work thing.
Yeah.
And it's just now like trying to adapt yourself to how you can work through that.
100%.
I kind of wish I could talk to my younger self who was burnt out and just give her some advice.
Yeah, what would you say?
I would say 100% rest before the point of exhaustion. Also tell her to set some boundaries at work as well. And remember that her worth is maybe not necessarily to do with her productivity. Like, because rest is so important.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know that when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I just pushed because I had this type A personality, and I wish I could just give her a big hug and say that's not what's needed.
Yeah, I think we're always trying to chase the next big thing or prove ourselves by working more or working harder. But actually, you're not going to be any use to anyone if you're burnt out. So you got to look after yourself. It was a heavy episode. It's a heavy topic, isn't it? And we will be talking about some heavy things in this series, because a lot of the time, the taboo things out there, we don't talk about because they're heavy.
I know. I feel exhausted talking about that, but I also like at the same time feel lighter, like sharing it as well. Like,
getting it off your chest.
I know, but I think if you are listening to this right now, it is a heavy topic. We are sorry if it's maybe put a little damper on your mood. But I think it is really important to talk about.
Yeah, because ultimately, if you're working, you are at risk of it. If you're doing lots of projects, you are at risk of it. And it's important to know about it so that you can catch the warning signs early.
I know.
Things will be a little bit lighter. We'll be hearing more about Becca's dating. You can listen to us on Spotify. Make sure you click the bell.
Or you can listen to us on Apple Music and remember to hit 5 stars.
And YouTube, and make sure to subscribe.
Thank you so much for listening and watching.
Thank you.
Bye. See you next week.